Hey everybody, this droopy guy here is my dog Sherman. I'm Matt and this is A Better Computer, and today I wanted to show you a concept I drew up this morning about how I think widgets could work pretty easily in iPadOS in the future, hopefully in an update to iPadOS 14, more likely in iPadOS 15, but let's take a look at how it works. So if you want to bring widgets to the iPad on the home screen itself, then you're going to have a couple problems you need to address. Number one being the icon grid, which is much different from the iPhones. iPhones have much less space between icons on the screen. iPad, they're much more spread out. Also, the widget size. So even if you do compress the icons, the widgets are still going to be a different size compared to the icons. So those are two things we need to address, but I think those are addressable pretty easily. So here's the current iPad home screen in landscape. This is a 12.9-inch iPad, and to assuage your fears about the icon spacing being set in stone, this is a 12.9-inch iPad. The spacing is different on the 11-inch iPad, it's different on the 10.5-inch iPad, it's different on the 9.7-inch iPad. So already, the iPad home screen is flexible. It's all different values all the time. And even on this one iPad, it changes. So right now, the icons are 137 points apart. And if I bring the widgets on, as you can in iOS 14, suddenly the icons are 76 points apart. So that's a big decrease. It's nearly cut in half. And if I rotate it into portrait, the widgets on the left go away, and now the icons are 88 points apart. So it varies quite a bit. From 76 points to 137, there's a wide variance in this. So this grid, this size, isn't set in stone. It's certainly not written in any sort of design Bible. It changes all the time. My suggestion is to move the icons on the home screen a little closer together and make it so that they form a perfect square, and then you can drop widgets in perfectly to the grid. As you can see here, the icons line up very well. They are still separated out by a good amount. They're about 15% closer together than they were compared to the current spacing on this view. But everything's still very tappable, the widgets look good, and to make them fit, I did have to boost the widget size a little bit. The widgets are about 15% taller and wider, but they maintain the same aspect ratio, they maintain the same colors, and most of these widgets that you're seeing are based on vector graphics, so they're going to scale just fine, ideally with no code from the developers. Now, if the developer does have to do something, then this is just a thing. Like Apple adds features all the time where developers need to do some work to make it work perfectly on the new OS. But I think that's totally reasonable. So a slight increase in the size could make it work automatically. Worst case, developers are going to have to account for a different size class, but I don't think that's necessary, and even if it is, it shouldn't be that horrible of an ask for an update. And you may be asking, what about portrait mode? Well, when you go into portrait, the icons will scale exactly the same, they'll still be the same distance apart, and they still look really nice on the screen, and the widgets fit in perfectly. So it kind of works in all aspect ratios. And so again, this is going to be slightly different on different sized iPads, just like it is today with icon spacing and widget size and all that. And so I made this video not necessarily to show you what the future of the iPad will be, but I hope that it looks nice and you're excited about what it could be down the road. But I wanted to kind of show that the changes needed to the iPad home screen to make widgets fit in nicely, I don't think are as grand as some people seem to think that they are. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully it gave you a taste of what iPads are going to look like in the near future. And if you liked it, hit the like button. If you loved it, please subscribe, and I will see you here next time on A Better Computer. Thank you so much for watching.